Advanced English speaking has always required you to be fluent, to be accurate, and to be clear with your speech. But now, teachers, linguists, and examiners have added another requirement, and that is to speak in a natural way. What does it mean to speak English naturally? Natural English speaking involves speaking in a conversational way, not just following the rules. In this video, I'm going to teach you 5 skills that you must master in order to speak English naturally. The first skill that you need to master in order to be natural with your speech is pausing. We'll start off with longer pausing, and we use a long pause in English to represent where there might be a paragraph break if the speech was written down. Like here, the children were playing in the street today. When it got dark, they came home. The next day, they didn't play on the street. Now, did you notice where I made the longest pause? It was between the 2 paragraphs. When it got dark, they came home. The next day, they didn't play on the street. Now we have a short pause to represent a sentence break, such as here. The children were playing in the street today. When it got dark, they came home. A shorter pause still to represent a clause break. When it got dark, they came home. And then a very short pause between what we call chunks. For example here, the children who were at home from school during the holidays were playing in the street today. Now here there's no clause break. The first part of the sentence, where we have the words in bold, represents a longer noun phrase. It's all one noun. It's the noun children, but with extra descriptive information. It's so long that the extra pause helps us to distinguish between that noun phrase and the rest of the sentence. Secondly, connecting sounds helps us to sound more natural in English. For example, when one word ends with a vowel and the next word starts with a vowel. Here we have something called intrusive sounds. How do you say the following? Let me say out the words: go, on, be, accurate, an area of beauty. But in natural speech, we don't separate them like that. We join them together as quickly as we can. And in order to do that, we add what's called intrusive sounds like this. Go on. Go on. Be accurate. Be accurate. Here, phonetically, it would have been represented by the J symbol if you're looking in a dictionary, but in terms of actual spelt out letters, it's more like the Y. Yeah, be accurate. And then an area of beauty, joined together is an area of beauty. Area of. Area of. So we have the W between go and on, go on. We have the Y between be and accurate, be accurate. And R between area and of, area of. We also connect vowels to consonants by joining them up when the word ends with a vowel and the next word starts with a consonant. Like this. We have these 4 words: go, to, the, zoo. Notice that each of the first 3 words ends with a vowel and then the next word begins with a consonant. When this happens, then we join all of the sounds together as if they are one. Go to the zoo. Go to the zoo. There's no gap at all, and we get quickly between the sounds by just considering them all to be one word. And then also, when a consonant is joined to a consonant, when the consonant's at the end of the word and the next word starts with the consonant, sometimes we omit sounds altogether. In the first 2 here, the first word has the same letter at the end as the beginning of the next word, big and green. So in this case, we'd say big green. We wouldn't say big green. We'd make it quicker by joining them together. In the second example, next and time. Join them together, next time. Just one T sound. And then in the last example, the consonant at the end of going is different to the consonant at the beginning of to. And what often happens here, if the consonant in the second word is a hard consonant, like the T sound, we'll often drop the consonant at the end of the word before. So instead of saying going to, we say go into. Going to. So the G and the T and the G all disappear in these examples because of the rules of connected speech. You can make your English even more natural through my advanced English speaking and pronunciation course. And also, these skills are essential if you're going to do well on the IELTS course. And I have courses that will help you with all of these skills. You can find out more by clicking in the links in the video description. The third skill to help your speech be more natural is using stress. Now, stress is when you emphasize a syllable in content words. Let's look at this example to explain it. The children were playing in the street today. Now, children, playing, and street and today all have real meaning. Children are people, playing is an activity, street is a place, and today is a time. These are content words. They have real meaning. And with these words with real meaning, we will stress one syllable, potentially two in longer words, and that means we make it louder and longer, and we say it with more clarity than the other syllables. The words such as the, were, in, and the don't have real meaning. What is a the? What is a were? What is in? What is the? They don't have real meaning. They are what we call grammar words, and we don't stress these words. So in English, if you want to speak naturally, make sure you only stress the correct sounds. The words have to be content words, and there's always one particular syllable which is stressed. It's usually the first syllable, but not always, and there aren't rules. So you have to learn where to stress a word at the same time as learning the word itself. In addition to stress, you also need to use English rhythm correctly in order to be natural. This means leaving an equal amount of time between the stressed syllables. So here's the same example as we looked at for stress. Listen to how I say it. The children were playing in the street today. The children were playing in the street today. Notice that there is an equal amount of time between these stressed syllables, and it didn't matter how many sounds got between them. Between children and playing, there were two unstressed syllables, run and were. Between playing and street, there were three unstressed syllables, ing, in, the. And between street and day, just one, two. Those syllables get squashed together so that we can keep our rhythm in English. And as much as is possible, that's what native English speakers do. My fifth tip for being more natural when you're speaking English is to use intonation correctly. There's a lot to learn about intonation in English, but it can be summed up quickly through these two principles. Use down intonation. That means go down with your tone towards the end of what you say. That indicates completeness. So we use that with statements. When we make a statement and we go down at the end, what we're indicating is this statement is complete. Nothing needs to be added. When we go up with our intonation, that indicates a lack of completeness. Something needs to be added. For instance, it might be an indication that I'm going to say something more afterwards, or I'm expecting someone to reply, or it's a question that I'm asking, and I actually need you to give me the answer to fill in the information because my knowledge is not complete. Now, we can use this simple intonation rule with the same sentence that we looked at before. The children were playing in the street today. Did you notice how I went down towards the end? The children were playing in the street today. I went down. I'm making a statement. I'm not expecting anyone to answer a question. I'm not expecting anyone to add anything to it. It's complete. But now listen to the second version. The children were playing in the street today. The children were playing in the street today. Notice how I had up intonation. And that kind of indicated a question, like I wasn't sure if it was true. I wanted the person I was speaking to reply and confirm if it was true or not true. So there was something not complete about the statement when I went up with my intonation. And this works in most situations in English. There are a few question types where they go down, but usually going up indicates the question, going down indicates completeness, no need to carry on. And there are lots of variations on these intonation rules, which you can learn on my course, Advanced English Speaking and Pronunciation. Now, if you've been following my channel for months, you'll remember back in the summer I started a course which was called a Free Spoken English course in 10 parts. Now, this lesson has covered parts 5 to 8, stress, rhythm, connecting speech and intonation. We've got 2 parts to come. You could find this part and all of the other parts in a playlist which you can access through clicking on the notes at the top of the screen here. Don't forget to join my Advanced English Speaking and Pronunciation course if you want to develop your English speaking skills in a more advanced way. And don't forget my new course that's just been released on IELTS. And this will help you achieve an examination result in IELTS that will give you access to work and study in an English-speaking country. And speaking naturally is a key part of the marking criteria for IELTS speaking. So make sure you use the skills you've learned in this video if you're going to take the IELTS test. Remember that there are links in the video description below me here. Click on those to find out more about these courses.